Hello and welcome to the Fishing Podcast, the podcast where we talk about all things fishing, gear, tactics, venues, and of course the fish we catch. I'm Liam Hall.
And I'm Matt Jones.
Welcome back to episode 7. Today we're going to discuss how to beat your PB and things that we've done in the past and are implementing now to try and beat our personal best. But before then, how are you?
Oh, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good. I'm busy. I've gone back.
We said that we're not allowed to do that.
Yeah, I know, but I'm busy. I'm busy. It's always busy.
Well, I'm busier.
See,
that's what this is now.
This is now a competition of who's busier. But this is just the life of working.
No one wants to know if you're busy.
Yeah, I know. But equally, there's some stuff that...
Just say I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Nice, thanks.
Look, I'd love to tell you how my day's been, what I've been up to, what I've been doing. I can't reveal that stuff on the podcast, unfortunately.
Yeah, no one cares.
Confidential lifestyles and all, and no one's really going to care.
Yeah.
So, I'll tell you that off camera. Mm-hmm. But yeah, for the purposes of this, I'm good.
Good.
How are you?
Busy. Can't reveal confidential lifestyle as well. So, unfortunately.
Yeah. Well, it's not exactly confidential lifestyle, is it? It's confidential work style.
Confidential work, yeah.
Yeah. And it's,
No, good. Today is a Monday. So it's always nice to get back into the swing of things on a Monday. I actually quite like a Monday, contrary to maybe what a lot of people do or don't. I don't know. Shout out if you like Mondays. I quite like a Monday. It's like the start of a new week. It's a fresh slate. Just normally had a good, nice weekend and kind of get back into the swing of routine and things. So quite nice. That's how I am. I'm good.
I don't enjoy Mondays, but only because like my Mondays are meeting Monday.
Meeting Monday.
It's just nothing. All of my planning meetings happen on a Monday. All of my team meetings happen on a Monday. So I don't actually get any work done. Like Mondays are basically in early, back-to-back meetings until 5:30, just planning for the week ahead.
Yeah, but that's productive.
So, yeah, it's productive. But I always leave a Monday with 200 emails. So it is what it is. But
how's your fishing been?
My fishing has
That's what people care about.
That's why
no one
we're
wants
here.
to know about your meeting Mondays.
We're here to talk about the most important thing, fishing. It's been good. We've been out on the bank a fair bit. Mm-hmm. We've got more sessions in the pipeline. We've not had that many catches. Like we obviously kind of come off the back of a holiday type, kind of fishing. And then, we did 4 days away, then come back. And then after that, we've been doing like a few little shorter sessions. So we've had like a couple of 24s. We had like a less than a 24. I think we did 18 hours or something, didn't we? Because we had plans on the Sunday or something. Yeah,
we've got this, which I don't hate, to be honest. We've got this nice little routine where now we can fish. So my brother, Callum, the unofficial member of the Fishing Podcast.
The Fishing Channel.
Matt's the Fishing Channel. Matt's golden idol. He is now. He's got his weekends back.
Can we Photoshop a
little idol of Callum's face on
with Callum's face?
Because it's my job to edit this one, so I'm going to have to.
This is your task, Liam. I want to see an idol with Callum's face on it.
Going to Photoshop. So, what were you going to say? Say it. So he's got his weekends now. He can. His weekends have changed, meaning he's got Saturday, Sunday back, which means he can join us on the bankside.
Yeah.
For Friday evenings. We've got this nice little routine where we can fish Friday through till Saturday, early afternoon, late morning. And then we've got the rest of Saturday, the rest of Sunday to do with what we like. Yep. Sometimes have longer sessions. Sometimes just nice to make sure we've got that regular fishing in because you know how you're definitely not going to catch? It's by not fishing.
Yep.
So
exactly.
But it's like I say all the time though, it's not catching, it's fishing. It's just nice to be out, just get relaxed. There's no better feeling than when you're set up, rods are out, everything is done, and you just sort of sit down in your chair or in your bed chair, and you're like, I'm here now till tomorrow, and that's it. I'm just done.
But I think they're nice because although they're shorter sessions, because obviously we're working Friday, so we've got to finish work and then get down to the lake. Like we're not normally set up until kind of evening really.
Yeah.
We then do less than 24. It's normally probably less than 18 hours in total. It's just a nice little compact session. We're out on the bank, we're putting the time in and kind of just hoping for the best. But it's just nice to be out and about.
Yes, exactly. So, you did have a little pike extravaganza.
I did.
Recently. So that was exciting.
It was. It was not a situation I was used to.
Doesn't count, but fish is a fish.
No, I'd love to say it counted, but
This is the fishing channel, not the carp channel. So, as far as I'm concerned,
that's quite true. Actually,
here it counts. On the bank side, when we're fishing for carp, it doesn't count.
Yeah.
Here it counts.
Yeah. No, that's very true. And I think at some point we will probably need to do some other fishing type videos where we'll go out and about and do something we've never ever done before.
And in which case, task for you, the viewer, let us know what other type of fishing video you'd like us to do. Preferably not catfish.
Be careful what you wish for.
Yeah. Also,
we do need to go catfishing though. Like only one time. We've done it once before.
We need to take Callum, don't we?
It's Callum. Because Callum's never been. And for those that have caught a catfish, why can't I say catfish?
Why do you do this on episodes that I have to edit?
For those that have caught a catfish before, you know
about it.
You know you've caught a catfish. And yeah, like we've always said to Callum, like you need to experience it at some point. That's the only time I'm going to accept going catfishing again.
Yeah,
because I don't really think I want to go again.
Also, it's full of catfishermen who are genuinely.
No one likes.
Why do they love wearing vests? By the way, have you noticed this?
Gilets or
no, like a tank top. Catfishermen love wearing vests. Next time you go walk past a catfishing lake, vests.
Really? I can't say I've ever spotted it. To be honest,
love wearing vests. Don't know what it is.
Wow,
it's a thing.
We met a catfisherman recently, didn't we?
Didn't like him. Yeah. Well, he came over and he started off the conversation really by saying, "I've been fishing the big boy lake, thinking that the catfish lake is the big boy lake, which it's not. So fuck you."
You've been told. Live on air.
Clearly, I didn't like that.
Yeah.
But alas, let's kick off and get into the episode. We're going to talk about how we have gone about being our PBs, and I think continually strive to beat our personal bests, and maybe our top 3 each, top tips on beating your PB, and if you start to implement them, things that will definitely help you start to catch bigger fish.
Yep. So let's lay some ground context as to where we're at the moment, because that's important.
Well, our PBs.
Yeah.
Oh. All right. So,
do you want me to, is this where I do my public apology?
Yeah, I'll take it now.
What video did I say this in before?
Matt said in a video. So everyone knows.
Was it the
every
recent
pound,
session vlog?
every inch, every centimetre counts. And my personal best is a touch over 31, about 31.2. Matt went live in a video without my consent saying it was just over 30. Which, look, 31 pounds, 2 ounces is just over 30. But 31 sounds better than 30. I'll take it.
True. What video was it? Can you remember?
It was one of your session vlogs at Beavers.
Oh, great. Love that. Okay, well, dear Liam Hall, I apologise for saying that your PB was a touch over 30.
I mean, now you say it like that.
When it was actually 31.
A touch over 31. See? Thank you.
I could have said that, yeah.
Your apology is accepted. But yeah, so my personal best, don't whisper in your mouth. My personal best is just over £31, a touch over 30, which was breaking the 30 mark, which was exciting. It was one of those ones where caught the fish, wasn't quite sure at first, and the second we weighed it, we actually didn't weigh it. We didn't zero the sling when I caught my PB, and it just swung round to like 34 something or 35, and we were like, okay,
no, come on,
let's get it back, zero the sling, let's do this properly, because this is going to be a personal best. So that was exciting, but that's mine.
You ready for this? Mine is 29.
A touch under 30.
It is actually a touch under 30. It's £29.14.
Yeah.
It's painfully close. It does my head in.
I would have given it to you if it wasn't. Yeah,
no,
it wasn't
because,
me, but
like, we say this all the time with.
I would have just twisted the dial a little bit without you knowing.
Just held it.
We
up
had
the hook
that
a little
once,
bit.
Do you remember? Do you not remember this? One time, you caught a fish that was about 26, 27, and you had forgotten to zero your sling.
Yeah.
And it was actually a little bit over, and I picked it up and weighed it, and I read out like 31 pounds, and you were like, oh my God, what? I've broken 30. I dropped it, put the scales down, and I noticed it was all the way it was further across.
Yeah, no, I did.
we
And
hadn't
then you had to
zeroed the
break the
sling.
news to me.
Then I had to break the news to you that we need to one,
But
zero
see-
the sling, and two, pull it back, and it went
I
down
do
to 26.
remember. And look, since then we're a lot more regimented with our.
I mean,
with
that was a
our
long
weighing.
time. That was a while back.
That was a long time.
These things
ago.
happen.
It does. So yeah, I've got. I'm still yet to break the 30 mark. I'm painfully close.
But Matt, what are you doing to break the 30 mark?
This is a good question.
There you go.
Now I'm in the thick of it right now, and I've thought about this.
Mm-hmm.
Not just today, but probably for the last 2 weeks.
Yep.
Because I'm gearing myself up for the winter campaign.
Yeah, the winter campaign.
And, we are recording this podcast in September.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good time for breaking PBs. Why is that, Liam?
Well, they've been getting thick. Through the summer, they've been rubbing up, and they're getting thicker and thicker and thicker from this point onwards.
They have.
Just before the winter, when they sort of chill out a bit. So it's a good time to catch them because they're normally at their biggest. So tip number 1, time of the year plays a part in it. If you want to go for a personal best just after they spawned, probably not the best time to do it.
No.
So if you're going to big fish lakes just before they spawn or just after the summer, these times of the year are going to be your best bet of breaking a PB.
Yeah. So does that count as my tip number 1 or your tip number 1?
I've just stolen it.
You basically have. You kiboshed me at the last minute. Well, yeah, I completely agree. And this is something that, I'm thinking about a lot because the lake that we fish is not a high stock lake. There's about, I don't know how many fish is in it. There's probably between 30, 40, 50.
Well, look.
Be careful because they're watching.
Hi, Andy.
You're wrong. There's 20 fish in this we've counted.
People think I think they say Andy and Ben say roughly 60 to 70.
Yeah.
But I don't know the exact stock. But it feels like sometimes it can feel like there's 20 to 30 in there.
Yeah.
Maybe 40 to 50. It's hard to know exactly.
But the upper echelons of the fish weights.
There's not loads in there.
You're talking maybe 10 fish that are the upper weights. Your 25. Well, no, probably your 22 pluses. I would say. So yeah, there's probably 4 fish in there that are maybe encroaching that 30 mark now.
For me, I think there's one fish that I can go after to break a personal best.
You can.
However, though, actually, we can discuss this now quickly, just before we continue with this. If I catch a grass carp, I don't think I can count that as a personal best carp because technically
it's a grass carp.
It's a grass carp. I think that's its own category.
What do you think? Because all of you, and all 3 angles.
What do you think?
Because personally, it depends. It depends how serious you want to go, and because you could always break it down. This is like some people have UK PBs
and France, which I agree
French
with.
PBs, and I think that's a good way of doing it. You have to separate them.
Because I often would say my common carp PB is 31.
What's done this? You know what's done it?
What?
Fishing simulator.
Yeah, we've been playing.
This has caused you to think differently.
I think I would say my common carp PB is 31.2.
Yeah.
And my mirror PB is, I don't actually know, 26, 27, maybe 28?
No, I don't think you've caught a 28 mirror.
I've had the black scar mirror.
Okay, was it? He's 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've had, somewhere around 26.
Okay, so it's around there then.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, I think I'm 29.14 for common, and I'm 28.12, which is the black scar at mirror. So yeah, we're probably around the same ballpark, other than your commons push you a bit higher. But look, if you're going to break it down that way, it's technically a grass carp.
That's what I would say. I would say that a grass carp.
But then ultimately, if someone comes up to you and says, "Oh, what's your PB?" you're not going to turn around to them and say, "What fish?"
I mean, it might. Depends how serious they are.
That's really pretentious, that is.
Pretentious kind of guy.
What species?
Yeah, what species? What do you mean, what species?
Yeah. I would say it depends how you look at it. Your overall career PB is whatever fish you catch. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, but if I just...
Oh, hang on, though.
What if I just catch a giant grouper? Then I can never come back from this.
What lengths are you fishing?
480 pounds. 1,000 pounds.
Grouper at £1,000. Do they go to
I
£1,000?
think giants get to like 800-900 in there, I think.
I mean, they're pretty big. I've seen them.
Yeah.
Size of a mini.
Yeah.
I mean, look. Let's put it this way. Let's spin this up a little bit more. What if you went to a lake that had cats and carp in it, and you just so happened to catch an 88-pound cat? Would you then say your PB is 88?
As a catfish?
No, as a PB.
It depends who I'm talking to and depends who I'm trying to impress. In fact, no, it wouldn't, because it's a catfish, and I don't agree with...
They never count. Doesn't matter how
They
big, they don't count.
Giant eels.
Yeah, I think my personal opinion is, yes, in your head break it down as categories, because I think that's a good way of doing it. But your overarching PB is your overarching PB. It's your biggest ever fish, and that's irrelevant of what species it is.
I think it depends how the question's phrased. What's your personal best carp? But we're getting off track.
We are a little bit. We're
Because
digressing.
no one wants to know about us beating up. I mean, that is relevant to how you categorise your personal bests. But
What's your personal best roach?
my personal best roach, £88.
Wow.
Probably about a pound. I've caught big roach before.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but
Mine's
sometimes I have a hard time telling if it's a roach or a rudd. So,
Isn't it the yellow fins that give it away? Roach have yellow fins.
no, roach
Ruds-
have red fins.
Rudd don't.
No, they all have
I'm
red
sorry.
fins.
You ever do that thing where you say something whilst you think something else?
No.
I was thinking of the colour red while saying yellow.
No. They all have red fins.
Yeah.
I think
What, even Rudd?
Yeah.
I thought
they
Rudd...
have sometimes a slightly golder colour scale, I think, which is how you differentiate them.
Oh.
But they're basically just, sometimes you get roach rudd hybrids.
Okay, so we're digressing. If I bring us back to topic, my one of catching your PB or hunting your PB, mine is watercraft. And it's quite a broad thing to say watercraft because it means a whole bunch of different things. But, for example, and I'll use the grass carp you just mentioned as an example, we know it lives in swim 12 of beavers somewhere. And if it's not there one day, it's coming back. It just loves that corner. And I've seen it there a couple of times. It's been caught there a couple of times. Therefore, just your knowledge of the lake, your knowledge of the fish, almost learning their habits to a certain extent, like you're then hunting a specific fish. So obviously you're not going to be able to do that on every lake. It's quite hard, especially with bigger waters. Like it's going to be very rare to see those, those larger ones. But yeah, I would say if you fish a lake enough, you will start to learn where it's come out, like how it's come out, like the types of locations and that kind of stuff. And then you learn from it. And I think on a previous episode you spoke about like just going on the Facebook page of fisheries and like scrolling through their photos. Like I do that. And if I'm hunting a specific fish, like I'll go back, say, through Beaver's Facebook, and I will specifically look at the grass carp. Like every time it's been caught, where it's been caught, and then try and base my actions on that.
I like it. Good tip. I would agree. I once saw a Terry Hearn video, and I think he started to learn the specific areas where he was seeing a specific fish, and I think it's more prevalent in larger waters because they are creatures of habit.
Yeah.
So it's understanding where you see that fish quite often because it's definitely more likely to go back to that point. So yeah, I'd agree. My next tip, super easy one. The type of the lake you're fishing. If there's fish in there that can break your PB, you got a chance of breaking your PB.
Oh, that's easy.
If there's fish in there that's not, you're not. And it sounds really simple, but it's also about the number of fish that exist within that lake that are above your PB. For example, if you're chasing, like me, a fish that's heavier than 30 pounds, and you're fishing a lake where there's only 130 in it, or 30 plus, you've got a 1 in however many the stock is, at 1 in 60, 1 in 70, 1 in 100 chance of catching a fish that's going to break your personal best. So choose the type of lake, or just choose the lake that you're going to fish based around the fact of the number of, or the head of fish above that weight you're trying to beat. If it's 30 or 40 or 20 or 10, just try and increase that number, and you're far more likely to actually beat your PB.
Yep, that's a good one. And I think this is probably where our challenge is a bit tougher because we're probably dealing with, there's probably about 4 fish in our membership water that we can beat that we can beat PBs on now. So yeah, it's a tough challenge. I think we'll get there. All right, my next one, and this is just something I've learned over periods of time of just fishing for big carp, that when you get to the tail end of summer, and it's kind of like piggybacking off of the time of year type thing, they've obviously been fished for all summer. They're used to big patches of bait. They're used to what a pop-up is. They're used to what a boilie is because they've seen them all summer round and they've been absolutely chowing down on it. So mix it up. Like when you start going into those kind of where the temperature starts to drop, the weather starts to change, like have a bit of a mix up of bait. And this is where some fishermen don't do it because they have so much confidence in one thing that they'll just keep using that like consistently and won't change it. But what I will do is, like for example, at the moment I'm using small baits. Like I'll use a mixture between like a single plastic corn or like a single 10mm wafter, something along those lines. But then equally, like I'll try and make them a little bit darker to start with, which sounds a bit like counterproductive because everyone says when it gets colder, go brighter, fluorescent type baits and that kind of stuff. But I try and go darker. Yeah, so I'll try and go, kind of darker at one point, and then I might maybe go to like some higher vis pop-ups or something like that. Or even some higher vis, wafters or something along those lines. But small baits, like really small baits, have worked really well for me for big carp fishing.
No, it's good. I think it's, fish for the type of carp you want to catch as well. Whether that's hook size, whether that's bait size, whatever that's going to be, there are certainly what are classified as big fish rigs as well you can sort of think about and you can look into. So I think it's definitely, fishing for the type of carp you want to catch as well is definitely important.
Completely agree.
My next one is not necessarily about beating your PB, but it's about being ready for when you catch your PB. Just something I thought is really important to throw out there, because I think if you're currently striving to beat, if your PB is currently 21 pounds, I will be the first person to tell you, or maybe not the first person to tell you, but trying to catch, land, handle, pick up a 32-pound fish is a very different ball game. And I'm sure when I find out what it's like to do it with a 42-pound fish, it will be an equally very different ball game. So be prepared. Make sure your mat's big enough, your sling, your net, the type of tackle you're going to go after the fish with as well, because it's all well and good going after a personal best, but if you're still sort of only used to fishing small, smaller hooks, you're maybe using really quite light line, whether that's 8-pound or 6-pound line, because you're maybe sort of used to being a match fisherman, you're looking to sort of progress up. It's worth being prepared. So when you do catch a fish and you do get a bigger fish on the end of the hook, you're more likely to be able to land that personal best. And whether that's increasing, the test curve of your rod, your reels, just kind of uprating all your gear is definitely something you want to think about when you're trying to not only hook the bigger fish, but also then land it and get on the bankside.
Yeah, no, I think that's good. And obviously every fishery has its own rules and regs on like, the minimum, kind of pound line that they need to have and that kind of stuff. So just keep to that, and for the most part, providing you play the fish right and you kind of are ready at all times, then I almost kind of feel like sometimes, like any catch, you've got to treat it like a PB. That's kind of the position that I'm in at the moment. Is whenever I catch from beavers, like that's my mentality: is this is a PB fish. Until I land it and I realize it's not, that's okay. But as long as I treat it like that, kind of as I'm playing the fish, then I'm always doing it the right way and hopefully maximizing my chances of landing it.
Liam's fourth tip, which is Matt's third tip, which I'll let him elaborate on.
Don't let him have it.
It's out, I'm having it. Is fish more. What'd you say?
You're going to use my angle whilst you speak.
Yeah,
so,
okay. Fish more. Ultimately, if you want a chance of beating your PB, you've got to get on the bankside. Really catch more, fish more. That's your best chance.
Yeah, I mean, we've done that a lot in the last kind of few weeks or so. That ultimately, you're only going to catch if you're fishing. So, you have to put the effort in to go and do it. And I'm sure your wife and your girlfriend is going to be a bit pissed off with you, but just go and do it because
it's worth it.
Fishing.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, like you've got to be there to catch. And look, if you're hunting those PBs, they're not going to come hunting you.
It's a numbers game a lot of the time with fishing, and you've got to just get as many on the bank as you can, and the more you get on the bank, yes, we all have those lucky. Yes, we all know that one person who went fishing once, turned up, pub chucked it out, and his PB's now 40. But that's not the case for everyone, and you got to put in the time.
Yep. No, 100%. Okay, so I think that pretty much wraps up our topic. So I've got a question for you.
I'm listening.
The weather is changing. We're in that time of year.
It's getting colder.
Where the nights are younger. The nights are older. What's the term?
I have no idea.
The nights are younger, I think.
It's getting darker quicker.
In other words, it's getting colder. It's becoming not so comfortable on the bankside.
Mm-hmm.
What are you doing?
Mm-hmm.
To prepare for that?
Thermals, for the most part. There's definitely loads of things out there that you can wear to keep warmer, whether that's thermal tog socks. Shout out to our first episode of our top 5 things to have when you're carp fishing.
We need to get some brand sponsorship of those tog socks. Man needs a new pair.
Yeah. Thermal, leggings and tops. Thicker clothes, hats. Shout out to the podcast again for Sealskin's thermal hat. Really, just trying to layer up is really important. But the main thing that I always say is it's much easier to stay warm than it is to get warm. So in the winter, when it gets really cold, you might want to be social. You might want to stand outside like we do and chat till 11 at night. But at what cost? Because trying to generate warmth is much harder than keeping warm.
Facts.
So get in your sleeping bag, stay in it.
Get in your sleeping bag, stay in it, and don't leave it, please. Yeah.
Or do star jumps like I was doing the other day on the spot.
Yeah, sus.
Running on the spot.
I'm not doing
I wasn't
that.
doing star jumps, I was running on the spot, jogging on the spot.
Yeah, I'm not doing that when I'm fishing. No chance. Man's
Yeah.
chilling, not
Gloves.
exercising.
And a good sleeping bag as well. Don't just do what I did when I first started fishing and get a little 12-pound Tesco sleeping bag. You want to have a proper thick sleeping bag that is relevant for the seasons you are fishing. Because why it's important, it might sound pretentious or, like you're, I don't know, not manly, but the reality is there's a lot of people who do not fish through the winter, and the reason is because it isn't comfortable and it is a bit harder. And just with a few relatively simple changes, you can make sure that you're out on the bankside for more, because as we said, the more you're in the bankside, the more chance you've got of beating your PB.
Love that.
What about you? How are you staying warm? Say it.
All of those.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, clothing is a big thing. But equally, I brought a Ridge Monkey hot water bottle recently.
Tell everyone about the giant hot water bottle. Do you know what I was thinking the other day? I bought one as well, mainly because I felt pressured.
A giant one?
Yeah.
Oh, is this the one that you're talking your knockoff one?
Yeah, the knockoff one from Primani. Because I walked past it, I was with the missus in Primark supporting, doing the fighting the good fight. And I saw a long...
Were you sitting on the husband seating on the outside?
Just leaning up against the banister.
Yeah.
No, I was in the thick of it.
Oh.
I was in the thick of it. And I saw... Actually, shout out to Callum, saw them. And they have these nice long bows with tassels on them, pom-poms. But
that's sweet.
I was going to keep it on, but it came off.
Oh, that's a shame.
Yeah, I know. It was more for the inconvenience. But it's basically just another long hot water bottle, and he bought one, and I couldn't have you both having one night and then me being jealous, so I had to buy one as well, and it's only £8. But that's got to be at least a litre and a bit of water, so that's going to eat up into drinking water. So was it just... Also, my kettle's not massive. It's going to take 2-3 kettles to fill that up.
Yeah. So I did test it.
How many kettles?
The other day. It's 2 kettles.
That's a lot of water as well.
It is a lot of water. It's 2 kettles.
I reckon thirsty.
I reckon there's... I mean, I'll have a look at the size of my kettle, but I think my kettle's 3/4 of a litre.
Yeah.
So if it's that times 2, 1.5 litres-ish. So yeah.
Well,
that's a good chunk of water. So be prepared for that. Take more water than you need because that hot water bottle is getting full.
Fill it with water before you go, and then just pour that water into the kettle, and then I'm not sure that works really logistically, but or you could fill it halfway up.
Yeah, but in theory though, that could work.
That's what I'm thinking of doing.
You go water, fill your hot water bottle first, pour what you can into your kettle, boil it, pour that back in the hot water.
And just keep doing that until it
And
gets
just keep
hot.
doing it until it's boiling.
Yeah, and you get through a lot of gas, but it's
Yeah, I reckon you're talking 3 kettles full before that's
All right.
boiling.
Matt's
but-
top tips.
Don't do that. You're just wasting gas. But yeah, I got my long boy hot water bottle. That's coming with me. Clothing, quite generally, and then overall, just sitting in my sleeping bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have one of the thickest big snooze sleeping bags that you could possibly get, and oh boy, is it comfy.
Yeah, but you do want it though, because else no one wants to be absolutely freezing cold and just gipping and just sitting there just shivering their tits off. So do spend the money, get what you need to make being out on the bankside when it's cold just that bit more comfortable, because being on the bankside more will lead to more fish, which will lead to bigger fish.
Facts. So in brackets, go to Primark, get a £6 hot water bottle, because that will help you beat your P.
Yeah, £8 PBs from Primark.
Yeah, love that. Nice. Well, look, I think that nicely wraps up our episode.
Beating your personal bests.
Yeah.
So please check out some of the other videos. We've just put one up about our recent trip to Norton Disney. That's a podcast, but also on our YouTube channel, we've got a video out which sort of goes through our session at Norton Disney in a bit more detail, and hopefully you feel like you're there. If you're interested in going, check it out, or just a similar lake as well.
Yeah, there's plenty of other session vlogs, shorts, whatever you fancy watching. There's tons on there, so give it a watch.
Get in amongst it. So
yeah, thank you for watching.
Liking.
Like, subscribe, and all that good stuff.
And until the next time, we'll catch you later.
Catch you next time.